going to talk to you all about hate crimes. Chances are, as a young person, you've encountered a sexist joke, a racial slur, or a religious bash at some point in your life, even if it's just a joke. However, have you considered that what you just encountered was a minor hate crime? Any association with expressed biased feelings toward race, religion, sexual orientation, ethnicity, or gender can be considered a hate crime. Personally, I live on the reservation, so I encounter this almost on a daily basis. Sometimes the people refer to it as a message crime because they're trying to send a message to their victim that they don't like them. So racial fights, gang-related violence, and even destruction of personal property is something that's a normal occurrence on the reservation. And strong white prejudice. For the rest of you, you live in a very diverse place between liberal Washington and extremely conservative Idaho, so I'm sure you've all witnessed it at some point. The reason hate crimes are a big deal is because often people have biased motivation for violence, which can spin out of control. Assaults, injuries, property damage, harassment, and even murders are all reasons why hate crimes are being shoved into the limelight, causing government action and stricter laws. According to the National Museum of Crime and Punishment, both state and federal laws have cracked down. They see hate crimes as not only being an act of violence toward one person, but a whole similar race. And chances are, if someone is going to attack one person, they'll do it again to someone else for the same reason. Specific characteristics define a hate crime, such as singling a person out, so punishment could be anywhere from a fine, a misdemeanor, or in extreme cases, prison sentencing. The judiciary branch has spoken up about the seriousness of hate crimes and has ensured all but 5 states have laws against these crimes. But even further, 32 have laws to protect the victims. Age is the only confusing factor still being battled in the judiciary government system because if a young person commits a hate crime, they can't really just throw them in prison. So people are, iffy about it. Hate crimes to most of the general public are obviously looked down upon for multiple reasons. Michael Lieberman, a member of the Washington Council, discusses this in his review in Dissent magazine. He refers to them as extremely personal crimes, and that they leave lasting emotional and psychological damage on the victims, as proven over and over again by psychologists. Additional problems include damage of government property, and more seriously, the death of government officers. According to the National FBI headquarters, about 14,000 officers were killed in 2010 when responding to calls about hate crimes. Perhaps that is due to the staggering 7,800 that occurred last year alone. Violent ones, that adds up to about 1 every hour, every day of the year. Another journal posted by the FBI's national headquarters called Crime in the U.S. shows statistics of the crimes, race being the #1 reason people act out in violence, 50% of the reason. Religion behind that at 21%, and gay rights 12% behind that. When religion was the reason behind the hate crime, 66% of the time it was pointed at Jewish people. Another reason for such strong government responsiveness are the larger and ever-growing hate groups, such as the Ku Klux Klan, that are still present today. I'm going to show you the popular newscast Nightline's interview with the Missouri White Knights, which is a group off of the Ku Klux Klan.
A rare look inside the secret world of the KKK. For those of you who think burning crosses and hooded rallies are relics of the civil rights era, think again. Hate groups in America have doubled in the past decade, and it may surprise you who's among their ranks and what their agenda is inside the new KKK.
Handsman, left face, forward march.
In a forest grove not far from the nation's capital,
For God, for God, for country, for country,
a group of men and women gather.
for race, for race, for clan, for clan.
As the light fades, they enact a ritual over a century old, but as fresh and searing as the flame they ignite.
Klansmen, the battery cross.
A cross on fire. They are known as the Invisible Empire for a reason. They thrive in secrecy, almost never permitting outsiders access. Who are they?
I could be your neighbor. You don't know who I am. You can think the world of me, but yet, if if you see me in this hoodie who I were, your whole thoughts could change.
I've been a fireman. I've been in the Navy.
The people wearing these robes walk among us.
You want to be in the Klan?
Okay, so that just shows you that there's a lot of people that have obviously strong opinions, so they are acting out, and a lot of times they'll just be your friends or anyone around you. But later that broadcast goes on to explain that the members of the KKK group are not shy to admit that they want to be violent toward the black race, obviously, and they burn the cross because they feel that America is no longer a Christian-based nation. And they also think that the Caucasian population will be put into concentration camps due to Obama's re-election. And that's their justification for being so extreme. You know, they're saying for country, for race, for God. But obviously, that's a little extreme. The group grew from 200 to 6,000 after Obama got re-elected. Also shown in the video, an interview with Mark Podock, who represents the Southern Poverty Law Center, stated that 2 hate group websites crashed after Obama was reelected. So it just shows you it's just growing and growing. There's a reason for government to be concerned. However, there are those out there fighting hate crime punishment and think that it violates your First Amendment right, which is obviously freedom of speech. And because of this, the government can't do a whole lot, so they ratified the 14th Amendment just so there's an equal protection clause, which protects people who are attacked. And this happened after the Wisconsin versus Mitchell case, where a group of black men single-handedly assaulted a white male who was alone. When government studied further into the case, they found hate crimes to be a bigger problem than they expected, with 20% turning into aggravated assaults, and 32% of these happening in the victim's own home. So, if you see this taking place, confide in your local police or a trusted source. Protect your safety and the safety of those around you, obviously. And hate crimes are a big deal, and with so many other problems in the world, we should be setting aside our differences, and that's why I'm motivating you today to stand up to hate crimes. Any questions?